It's time to dive into the ocean and uncover a secret that has been used for generations by those who live near the sea to make their gardens thrive. We will take you through each step in this process so you can start making your own seaweed fertilizer at home. The best part is that it is very easy to make, and anyone can do it, even if they don't have any experience with gardening or making fertilizers before. So get ready to learn all about seaweed fertilizer and how you can make your plants grow like never before. We'll start by collecting the raw material for our fertilizer, which of course is seaweed. There are many different types of seaweed that can be used to make this fertilizer, but we suggest using kelp or bladderwrack seaweed because they contain the highest amount of nutrients. Before we get started, here are some safety tips to keep in mind while collecting seaweed. Avoid collecting seaweed from areas that are heavily polluted or contaminated, such as those near industrial areas or sewage treatment plants. It is important to wear gloves while handling seaweed, as it can cause skin irritation in some people. Be mindful of the type of seaweed you collect. Avoid collecting red algae, as it can be harmful if ingested. Also, always ask permission before collecting seaweed on private property. It is advisable to cook the seaweed before using it to avoid attracting pests such as slugs and snails to your garden. Lastly, use caution when harvesting seaweed, as some types can be slippery and may lead to falls or injuries. The ideal season to collect seaweed is during the spring and summer months when the sunlight is abundant and the growth of the seaweed is at its peak. This ensures that the collected seaweed is rich in nutrients and at its most potent. Additionally, it is important to choose a sunny day for collection, as the sun's energy is an essential component in the activation of the seaweed's natural processes. The time of day is also crucial. The early morning hours are the best time to collect seaweed, as this is when the temperature is cooler and the seaweed is more pliable, making it easier to harvest. Furthermore, avoiding the hottest hours of the day ensures that the seaweed is not exposed to excessive heat, preserving its quality and nutrient content. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that you are harvesting the highest quality seaweed for your fertilizer. Once you have gathered enough seaweed, the next step is to wash and clean it thoroughly. Start by removing any debris or impurities, such as rocks, shells, or other foreign objects that may have been collected along with the seaweed. This can be done by simply rinsing the seaweed under running water and allowing it to soak in a large tub or sink filled with water for about 2 or 3 hours. During the soaking process, the water will help remove any remaining debris and impurities, as well as loosen up the seaweed and make it easier to work with. After the soaking process, drain the water and discard any remaining debris. Then spread the seaweed out on a clean surface to allow it to air dry for a few days. Once the seaweed is dry, it is ready to be processed into a fertilizer. Before we continue with the process, there are a few things you need to know about the tools we will be using. The first tool is the blender, which will be used to break down the seaweed into a liquid form. The second tool is the cheesecloth or strainer, which will be used to filter the liquid and remove any solid particles. The third tool is the bucket or container where the fertilizer will be stored. Lastly, the fourth tool is the spray bottle, which will be used to apply the fertilizer to the plants. All of these tools are essential for creating a high-quality seaweed fertilizer. The blender is necessary to break down the seaweed's complex structure and release its nutrients. The cheesecloth or strainer is crucial for filtering out any solid particles that could potentially harm the plants. The bucket or container must be clean and food safe to store the fertilizer properly. And finally, the spray bottle is an effective way to apply the fertilizer to the plant. Now, let's get started with the process. First, place the dried seaweed in the blender and add 5 cups of water. Blend the mixture until it becomes a liquid form. Next, place the cheesecloth or strainer over the bucket and pour the liquid into it. This will help filter out any solid particles and leave you with a concentrated seaweed extract. The remaining liquid in the blender can be saved for later use. Repeat the blending and filtering process with the remaining seaweed until you have a sufficient quantity of fertilizer. To activate the fertilizer, transfer the filtered extract to a clean spray bottle and shake well before each use. There are several reasons why seaweed makes an excellent fertilizer for your garden. Seaweed is a natural source of essential nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are vital for healthy plant growth and development. These nutrients help promote strong root systems, lush foliage, and abundant flowering and fruiting. Seaweed also contains a variety of trace minerals and micronutrients that are necessary for optimal plant health. These include magnesium, calcium, iron, manganese, zinc, and copper. Trace minerals play a crucial role in various plant processes, such as photosynthesis, enzyme activation, and chlorophyll production. One of the significant benefits of using seaweed fertilizer is its ability to improve the overall quality of the soil. Seaweed extract helps enhance soil fertility, aeration, and water retention capacity. The organic matter present in seaweed decomposes over time, releasing nutrients and improving soil structure. Additionally, seaweed fertilizer acts as a natural chelating agent, which means it can bind to essential nutrients and make them more available to plants. This is particularly beneficial for plants that require specific nutrients for optimal growth, such as tomatoes and peppers. Another advantage of using seaweed fertilizer is its effectiveness in promoting strong and healthy roots. The alginates and other polysaccharides found in seaweed extracts stimulate root growth and development. Healthy roots are essential for nutrient uptake, water absorption, and overall plant vigor. Moreover, seaweed fertilizer can help improve the plant's resistance to various stresses, including drought, salinity, and extreme temperatures. The phytohormones present in seaweed extracts promote plant growth and development under challenging conditions. One of the key benefits of using seaweed fertilizer is that it is a completely natural and eco-friendly alternative to synthetic fertilizers. Seaweed is a renewable resource that is naturally abundant in coastal ecosystems. Using seaweed fertilizer supports sustainable gardening practices and avoids the use of harmful chemicals. Moreover, seaweed fertilizer is safe for beneficial organisms such as pollinators, birds, and wildlife. It does not pose any risks to human health or the environment when used according to instructions. Overall, the numerous benefits of seaweed fertilizer make it an excellent choice for gardeners who want to improve the health and productivity of their plants while minimizing their environmental impact. Whether you are growing vegetables, flowers, or ornamental plants, seaweed fertilizer can be a valuable addition to your gardening toolkit. Now that you know the benefits of seaweed fertilizer, let's talk about how to use it effectively in your garden. The first step is to choose the right concentration. The general rule of thumb is to use a 1:10 dilution of the seaweed extract for most plants. However, it's essential to start with a lower concentration such as 1:20 or 1:50. Depending on the type of seaweed and the specific needs of your plants, you can gradually increase the concentration as needed. The next step is to determine the frequency of application. It is recommended to apply seaweed fertilizer every 1 to 4 weeks, depending on factors such as plant growth stage, weather conditions, and soil nutrient levels. For young seedlings or plants that are actively growing, it is best to apply the fertilizer more frequently. During periods of rapid growth, such as spring and summer, it is important to monitor your plants closely and adjust the fertilizer application schedule accordingly. Now let's discuss how to apply the seaweed fertilizer to your plants. One of the most convenient methods is to use a spray bottle. Before applying, shake the bottle well to ensure an even distribution of nutrients. Spray the fertilizer solution directly onto the plant's foliage, taking care not to saturate the leaves. Another application method is through watering. You can add the diluted seaweed extract to your watering can and water your plants as usual. This method is suitable for both indoor and outdoor plants. Additionally, you can make a foliar spray by mixing the fertilizer solution with water in a spray bottle and misting it over the plants. This method is particularly effective for nutrient absorption through the leaves. It's important to note that when using seaweed fertilizer, it is generally not recommended to apply it directly to the soil. Instead, it is best to apply it to the plants themselves, as they are more likely to absorb the nutrients directly from the foliage or through their roots. If you want to apply it to the soil, mix it with water first and then water the soil with the solution. Now let's look at some additional tips for using seaweed fertilizer effectively. When using a spray bottle, it is crucial to shake it well before each application to ensure an even distribution of nutrients. Also, avoid spraying the fertilizer on hot, windy days, as it may increase the risk of leaf burn or nutrient loss. Lastly, it's important to store the fertilizer properly. Keep the extract in a cool, dark place to prevent any degradation of nutrients. With these application guidelines in mind, you can successfully use seaweed fertilizer to nourish your plants and enhance their growth and development. Remember to start with a low concentration and gradually increase it based on your plant's needs. Regular application every 1 to 4 weeks can help maintain optimal nutrient levels and promote healthy plant growth. And there you have it. You're now equipped with the knowledge to create your own seaweed fertilizer and watch your garden flourish. Don't forget to share your experiences and ask questions. Happy gardening!